But the thing, really, that's what's important, about the book that just came out. It's about the practice of inquiry, how to inquire. And it is Spacecruiser Enquiry because it's not just any regular inquiry, because everybody inquires. We're Western-minded people, where science developed and research happens. So we all know here about inquiry. Everybody does inquiry of various kinds. But this turned out to be inquiry of a certain kind, which, when I investigated it, was not a difference in kind, but the same kind of inquiry that we use in our scientific methods, in our Western mind, in our logical and philosophical analysis, except taken all the way, done more completely. In the sense, the heart has to be completely involved in it. It's not like I'm investigating something because I'm given a grant. I'm investigating because it's really a hot question for me. I really want to find out, you see. So I would say it took some years before I recognized first that there was a guidance that was happening, and that guidance was invoked through a certain natural attitude of the consciousness, which is just curiosity, pure, simple curiosity about what is, what's going on, what's happening, with a curiosity that is fueled by some kind of a love, passion, a love and desire to want to come face to face with, come in contact with the truth that I'm curious about. And then as this thing began to reveal itself more and more, I realized in time it is quite a practice. It's quite a way of being, a way of living. That is one thing about it I liked very much and I appreciated. And as a result, I was wholeheartedly into it. It did not feel artificial. I did not have to sit in any posture. I did not have to visualize anything. I didn't have to emit any unusual sounds. I was just doing what I'm doing, wherever I am. Sitting, eating my meal, talking to a friend, taking a shower, driving my car, working. I'm just, whatever the experience is, I'm curious about it, what it is, what's the truth of it. And with a heart open in a loving way, in the sense of really wanting to know what is the truth of this experience, what is the truth of this impression or of this perception, which is turned out the natural thing that we have, many of us have at least some of the time. And we tend to have it more as little kids. As little kids, they're so curious, they're asking you 1,000 questions, a minute, right? And they, what's this, what's that, how does this work, when did that happen, how did I come about, all these things. And because the child is really curious, we want to find out. It's like, it's the same thing. It's like a reactivation of the same thing, but it's maturation, development beyond the child stage, into more of a mature, adult-like interest, which means there is in it then patience and tolerance and compassion in it, and tenderness and openness, and that child might not have as much. And the thing, as I said, what I like about it's natural. We all have that. It is a matter of recognizing it and allowing it to sort of emerge, allowing it to develop. And one thing I saw is that that attitude, when it happens, when it matures, it becomes like an invitation. It's like an invocation. It's like a summoning of some kind of guidance that at the beginning I didn't even know existed, but became clear at some point why the truth I was finding out was very specific and personal and attuned. But like there was some kind of guidance. It wasn't from somebody, not from something, just from some of the manifestation of my nature, of my being. That's what it turned out to be. Although at the beginning, when the guidance first appeared, it seemed such sublime, some kind of sacred kind of presence, some kind of exquisite and magnificent kind of descent into the consciousness. Like pure awareness, pure consciousness, pure presence, manifesting, appearing in the awareness as this completely pure, completely, absolutely undefiled, unobscured presence with exquisiteness and transparency and intelligence and purity. And it seemed, as in time I learned, that this presence that arose was 100% absolutely dedicated for my well-being, for my best interest, dedicated absolutely, spontaneously, automatically to guide my consciousness to find out all the truth that I specifically, personally need. And that it's like completely specific, completely precise guidance. It wasn't like guidance about work or guidance about past times, past lives. It was, turned out it is like a messenger from the ultimate truth, manifesting as a purity and consciousness, taking my consciousness to that ultimate truth, but taking me to that ultimate truth through the gradual resolution of my life situation, so that I get to see, experience, and understand as fully, as clearly as possible all the detail, the specifics of my mind, of my consciousness, of my history, of my life, what I want or I don't want, what's working, what's not working, all of it understood in a very clear, precise way. And through that clarification, the consciousness opens up to find at some point when these things are resolved, here I am, the source of all that exists. This vast, peaceful stillness and majesty. But so the experience of this ground of being, or the transcendent truth, and the true nature of everything, is known by many people, many traditions. There are many methods about it, many techniques. And actually getting close to that helped me see how the various techniques, but sort of some of the logics behind them, how they work. But the way it has happened to me was not through those, but through this gradual unraveling, gradual opening up through understanding myself, and understanding my life in its various details. In a way, as I understand it, it begins to open up, begins to get lighter and more transparent. And the more I understand, the more transparent and the lighter and the emptier, until things are so empty, so transparent, so there are no things in the way, that the ultimate truth, the ultimate reality is just seen for what it is, experienced as it is.